On February 18th, 2023, The Weeknd tweeted that HBO Max show will be the last piece of Dawn FM. I can see the horizon. Now this all but signals the end of the Dawn FM era. Now it is perfectly natural to feel sad because this means that it's the end of the promotion of the album. This is the end of seeing Abel come out in that character's gear. This is the end of the new music videos. This is the end of this entire time period that we experienced and had fun and enjoyed living in. It's always a sad thing. However, I can't help but feel like this era was done a huge disservice. I am left at a point where I kind of feel like there should be more. Like there's more to explore in this era. Now, in this video, I want to elaborate on that. On May 23rd, 2021, The Weeknd said at the Billboard Music Awards, After Hours is done. And the dawn is coming. Now this signaled the end of the After Hours Red Blazer era. Now on October 25th of 2021, Abel further solidified that being the end of the era by officially canceling the After Hours tour that was set to begin in January of 2022. Abel put up an Instagram post saying, due to constraints of arenas and the demand for more shows, I want to do something bigger and special for you, which requires stadiums. But if you didn't feel like the After Hours era was done, that fully said that this era is done, and to the point that you are not going to get that tour. Now, The Weeknd kicked off the Dawn FM era with a bang, releasing an amazing song called Take My Breath. It was an up-tempo song, very reminiscent of a disco and funk kind of sound. The music video for this song previewed a new chapter, a new character, one that dressed in an all-black leather coat with dark shades and a fully grown out beard on Abel. And this song was just amazing. It would go on the chart at number 6 on the Billboard's chart, Hot 100 chart. Everything was looking up for this era. And then the promotion stopped. Just abruptly, the promotion stopped. Dawn FM would go on to drop in January, on January 7th of 2022. Yeah, that's nearly 5 months of nothing else. Needless to say, Dawn FM would go on to sell a measly 154,000 records in the first week. Now that's a lot of records. It's a lot for me. If I were to drop a piece of music, an album, and sell that much, that's amazing for me. But for The Weeknd, that was terrible. Now let's put some perspective on these sales. His previous album, After Hours, sold 444,000. Before that, My Dear Melancholy, 169,000, and that's a 6-song project. Beauty Behind the Madness, 326,000. Starboy, 348,000. The only album with less sales in the first week than Dawn FM is Kiss Line, The Weeknd's first album, with 95,000. That was disappointing, truly disappointing. Now, the release of this album, though this album was very critically acclaimed, a lot of reviewers loved it. This album very much split fans down the middle, and it actually caused the Weeknd going on a barrage of tweets, and one of the tweets proclaiming this as the new trilogy. This era, which I felt started out with a bang, Take My Breath, and then kind of fizzled out, was now divisive amongst the fans to the point that The Weeknd had to defend the release of this album. And it also did not do well in the first week compared to his previous albums. Now, upon the release of Dawn FM, Abel would proceed to push Sacrifice out as a single on the same day that he dropped the album. After that, he'd push Gasoline the following week, and Out of Time, and then also do a music video for How Do I Make You Love Me. On the night of the release of the album, he did a live stream in which he was dressed as an old man and dancing and acting as a DJ while he played his album, which was very cool to watch. That was impressive. As well as in February of 2022, dropping the Dawn FM experience, which was amazing. He immersed you in the world of Dawn FM, introduced us to a lot of other characters that would go on to show up in the tour. And also, he sang the whole thing with a microphone live dressed as an old man. That was amazing. It's probably the best one that I've ever, probably one of the best performances I've ever seen him do. Now, what went wrong? That's the question that I asked. I'm going to attempt to answer that. What went wrong with Dawn FM? Well, first off, what went wrong was, as you can kind of hear it in my voice, the promotion. The promotion to begin this album was terrible. Clearly, 2021 was the year of Save Your Tears and the year of the Super Bowl that Abel killed it. Yeah, he was ready to move on. I get that. And I think he did great when he dropped Take My Breath in August of 2021. And I think it was a perfect album which signified how Dawn FM would sound, because Dawn FM is a great album and there's a lot of great songs on there that do not sound the same as After Hours, which is a trend for The Weeknd. He made all of his albums sound different. This continued that trend, and this also continued that trend of being unique and amazing, and the world building in this album was amazing as well. However, Take My Breath was the only single that dropped, and there was nothing else after that. Not a word, not a peep. The only thing that came out after that were features. Features that had nothing to do with this album. I'm talking about Tears in the Rain or Tears in the Club. Tears in the Rain is a great song. Tears in the Club, FK Twigs song. I'm talking about Moth to a Flame, which was a great song. Had nothing to do with this. I'm talking about features with Post Malone that came out. Just a ton of other songs that had nothing to do with this. There was no promotional push for this album other than Take My Breath. Now, in contrast, compare that to some of his previous albums where he had multiple singles dropping, multiple promotional pushes. This album, he just had dropped a song and that's it. Now, Abel, I get that you're a big artist. You're amazing. Heck, I got this whole channel for you. I'm doing all these videos for you. But you still got to promote your stuff. You can't just go out and expect people to just listen. Your core fans are, but all of your fans aren't your core fans. He did not put any effort behind pushing this. And if it's not him, his team that's with him did not put any effort behind pushing him. Behind pushing that record Um, so, like I said, what went wrong was the promotion. After not really pushing this record in the beginning phases, meaning before the album dropped, when the album dropped, he did do some pretty good promotion. He did do some good videos, in which I felt like these videos did get the public, as well as the other fans that maybe were apprehensive to this. It did get them onto this album. It did give them something to enjoy. I think it did pull them along the way. But I also kind of felt like with that tour coming up, The Weeknd had a lot more to focus on than promoting this album and so on and so forth. He was more focused on making a great show, which was amazing. And The Weeknd also used this tour as promotion for the album, as the tour would go on to be called After Hours Till Dawn. Now, as a person that attended a show of his for this tour, it was amazing. It was massive. To me, it was bigger than the Super Bowl and way better than the Super Bowl performance. I've seen a lot of growth in The Weeknd as a performer in his own right. With that being said, there would really be nothing else of value added to this record other than January 7, 2023, a video being released for Is There Someone Else? Now, what could have been done better? What 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 could have been the blueprint for this album? Well, The Weeknd had the blueprint from this album based on what he did with After Hours. What did he do with After Hours? He released a tweet that he released a tweet of this weird figured picture. And then he dropped Heartless as the lead single. Then a couple of days later, he drops Blinding Lights as another lead single. Now some might have this selective memory. However, Heartless did debut at number 1 on the charts, which was amazing. But Blinding Lights did not chart that well. I mean, for The Weeknd at least. Blinding Lights charted around late 30s, maybe even 40 on the charts, and it was like that for a while. It did not become the big, massive success that everybody looks at it as now. You know, the greatest streamed song on freaking Spotify, a diamond record. It was not looked at like that at that time. But he did release those two, and then he did a video for Heartless in early December. Then he did some live performances. He did the video for Blinding Lights. He did world building. And then you get into around the January, February time, and he releases After Hours the song. He's also doing some promotional small snippet videos of those records. He's going on doing live performances. And then he goes on and does a live performance of Scared to Live. And then In Your Eyes becomes another single release. So The Weeknd had 5 singles released up to or just about before releasing After Hours. He had a lot of momentum. He had a push. He had a buzz going for him. Dawn FM, he didn't have that. He just had a single that was released and he forgot about it. And then he expected everybody to be on that wave when it first came out. But that's not how it works. Now, what should have been done was August, Take My Breath drops, music video. Probably do some pushing for it, like he did. And then once you get around September, November, and then that's when I drop a single like Sacrifice. Let that get a buzz, let that get a push. And then once you start getting into December or so, then I release a single like Out of Time and do a music video for each one of those. Let those go and let those build, do a nice world building. And maybe I'll make the music video for Out of Time better than what was presented right there. I do that push. And then in January, that's when I'll release the How Do I Make You Love Me music video. And rather than releasing my album the first week of January, January 7th, I released that album in February. Maybe on my birthday, February 16th. And at that point, I have about 5 or 4 singles. And I'm getting people cultivated into this era, and I'm generating buzz, you know. Maybe at that point, I'm doing some more live performances, captivating people. And then I release this album. And then I get everybody. Now everybody knows what to expect from this album. No, obviously there's some things that you won't know to expect, but now I got people accepting that this is a new era and not mentally thinking about after hours or thinking about this era, this time, this is the look, this is somewhat the sound that he's going for. Okay, now I'm with it. Now I know the aesthetics. And then after that, you push Less Than Zero, which is criminally underutilized. Then you push a lot of other songs like Best Friend, so on and so forth. Now you got a buzz. Now you're probably selling 300,000 in your first week. Now this album is praised by a lot of your fans. Now, when you say Dawn FM is going to be complete or done, nothing else is coming out, now I feel satisfied. With this era, I did not feel satisfied. I was very disappointed. Now, is there any hope for this record? The only hope that we have as fans is that fans do like what they did with Kissland and just all universally come together and appreciate the record and tell everybody else about it and enjoy it and listen to it, and then it gives its own life. But I feel like fans already do appreciate Dawn FM now more so than they did Kissland at the time. The only other thing that we can do aside from us all appreciating this record is going on to listen to it. Think about songs like Die For You that has like re-exploded again and it's recharting and doing this, that, and the third. That's kind of what we got to do with Dawn FM. We got to keep listening to it. We got to bring a lot of awareness to it. Maybe to a point that we do get a Less Than Zero music video. Because look at Die For You just got a music video, which is crazy. Die For You got a music video way after the Starboy time period. Maybe we can get that with Less Than Zero if we keep going for it. If we keep promoting it ourselves, if we put a big push behind it. But all in all, I feel like this era was severely mismanaged by The Weeknd and his team. For the quality of tracks that this era had, and even the quality of videos, music videos, this era was severely mismanaged.